So the objectives for today is to understand one sample t-test, dependent t-test, and independent t-test. These are the three types. To know the difference between the three, okay? When, where, and how to use one sample, dependent and independent. And then lastly, to apply these principles to daily life situation or to use them as computation, whether it's manual or inconvenient way. So manual computation meaning we are executing formulas, no? We are calculating through Excels or calculators. And the definition of convenient way is through the concept of applications, no? Jamovi or SPSS. Okay, in one sample t-test, as a definition, it is a parametric statistical tool that allows to learn whether a sample differs from the population from which it was drawn when the population standard deviation is not known. Okay, here the keyword is parametric, meaning your data here must act or must behave like a normal curve, meaning you've passed the Shapiro-Wilk test, no? Kasi if it's not parametric, you're not allowed to use t-test. And then it emphasizes here the population standard deviation, which is not known. Because if the population standard deviation is known, that's another concept. We have to use z-test. If it is not known, t-test. Okay, remember that, ha. If it is known, z-test. Not known, t-test. And then, under one sample t-test, the population mean must be given. Yun ang given dapat. Kasi yun yung ibabangga natin from our result. Now, this is the t-value under one sample t-test, x bar minus mu all over s sub x bar. When you see x bar, that means sample mean. Get the average of your sample data. And that's your x bar. Mu is the given population mean. This is the actual population mean, ha? Actual mean. And then the S sub x bar is the standard error of the mean. When you say standard error, it pertains to this formula S divided by square root of n, where S is the sample standard deviation and n is the number of respondents or number of objects within the experiment. Standard error, it implies the estimation of variation of sample mean from the actual mean. Meaning, if the standard error is big or large, your sample mean is not a good representation from the actual mean. On the other hand, if the standard error is tiny or small, that implies that your sample mean is a good representation from your actual mean. Halimbawa, kumakanta ka, and then may gusto kang kantahin na original song na kanta ng isang artist. So yung artist na yon, he is or she is the actual population. And then your voice is the sample. Kapag malaki ang standard error, meaning hindi mo ganun nare-represent yung original song. Maybe pangit yung boses, pumipiyok, malayo yung lyrics, hindi ka maganda maging representative ng kantang yon. Okay? Pero kung ang standard error is too small, kuhang-kuha mo, hindi naman sa perpektong-perpekto, maybe ikaw ang pwede maging pambato ng bayan ninyo para kantahin yung song na ito. Kasi halos kuha mo yung boses niya, yung gestures niya, diba? Yung kanyang mindset during the performance. Ganun mo interpret yung standard error. Now, as one sample t-test, we are comparing the given information to your sample data. Nakabasa ka ng isang information dito, let's say a specific value, this is your population mean. And then, ibabangga mo dun sa research na ikakandak mo. Pag may difference, meaning pwedeng reliable yung gawa mo. Pag walang difference, meaning pantay sila. So parang dapat lumalabas na hindi ka na lang nag-conduct ng research, pantay naman pala sila. Una pa lang dapat naniwala ka na doon sa nabasa mo. Let's have an example. Suppose that an engineer is interested in testing the bias in a potential hydrogen. In short, pH. So there's an instrument, a pH meter, to test the values of potential hydrogen. Data are collected on a neutral substance. The pH has a neutral value of 7. Yan ang nabasa mo. So, kung yan ang given, meaning, ito na yung mu. Population mean. This is the actual mean. Now, hindi ka naniwala. Ay, hindi 7 yan. Ewan ko, siguro medyo malikot yung imahinasyon mo or na-trauma ka sa jowa mo dati, no? Hindi ka na nagtitiwala. Hindi, joke lang. A sample of the measurements were taken with the data as follows. Ito yung mga values. 10, 8.12, 11.4, and so on. Nag-sample ka. Okay. Ngayon, fact lang to ang potential hydrogen, ito yung unit of measure to test the neutral substance of, to test the substance of a certain liquid. And it ranges from 1 to 14. Kung ang measurement mo dun sa liquid na yon in terms of potential hydrogen ay nag-range from 1 to 6.99, that means that liquid is acidic. And then, the neutral substance is 7. Ito yung neutral. Kumbaga sa number line, siya yung 0. Okay? Tapos, yung 7.01 up to 14, this can be interpreted as basic. So, meaning, pag basic ka, the liquid has a texture of being slippery, madulas siya, tapos mapait yung lasa nun. Now, example ka, ayun yung data mo, gusto mong ibangga yung overall result ng set na to the value of 7. And that's the goal of one sample t-test. That's why one sample, isang sample lang to, isang set lang, ha? Na to test the one sample t-test, let us construct first the hypothesis. First, the null. There is no significant difference between the sample mean and the population mean. Okay. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, in terms of mathematical equation, we have mu sub S equal mu sub P. This is the mu under the sample. This is the mu under the population. Okay. There is no significant difference. Walang pagkakaiba. There mean they are equal. Kasi, once you get the difference of mu sub S and mu sub P, it will turn to 0. Diba? Difference, no? Minus, difference. Pag sinubtract mo yan, dapat ang result 0. Wala. Okay. Next po is the alternative, which is H sub 1. There is a significant difference between the sample mean and population mean, and can be denoted as mu sub S not equal to mu sub P. Take note and bear in mind, class, that H sub 1, there is a significant difference between, gagamitin mo siya if you don't care about one-sided. Meaning, wala kang pakialam kung mas matimbang yung nasa kanan or mas matimbang yung nasa kaliwa. Neutral ka lang. Pumapagitna ka. Pero, kung ang concern mo ay may mas matimbang, meron kang pinagpapaboran na side, you have to use inequalities such as less than or greater than. Kung tingin mo na mas mataas ang sample mean compared to the population mean, this is the time to use this alternative hypothesis. Mu sub S greater than mu sub P. And if you think, if you want to prove, if you want to show to us na mas mababa ang sample mean compared to population mean, this is the alternative hypothesis na kailangan natin. So, within this example, let's say wala tayong pakialam kung sino yung mas mataas, kung sino yung mas mababa. Ito gagamitin natin. Okay? Nasa neutral phase tayo. Now, let's compute the X bar. Simply add these values and then divide it to 11. I think it is 11. Yes, 11 sample data. So, divide it to 11. So, 10 plus 8.12, blah, 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 till we reach 7.08 all over 11, and the result is 7.62. Next in line, get the sample, the standard deviation. So, by this formula, we have 2.22. Okay? Now, it's time to compute for S sub X bar. If you will remember, the p-value has a formula of X bar minus mu sub D over S sub X bar. X bar is the sample mean, which is 7.62. Okay, the mu is the 7. Yeah, that's the 7. And then S sub X bar, ito, we will compute na po. S sub X bar is S divided by square root of N. Okay, we have S already. N is also given, which is 11. So, substitute 2.22 divided by square root of 11, and we will obtain 0.67. So, under the t-value formula, we can now insert the computed value. So, 7.62 minus 7 divided by 0.67. And the outcome is now approximately 0.929. Ano naman? So, kindly set aside first the t-value, since we will use this later. But as of now, it's time to move under critical value, using the t-table. The degrees of freedom, the DF, degrees of freedom, as a formula of n minus 1. So, that is 11 minus 1. So, meaning, 10 is the degrees of freedom. So, focus at 10 as your row header. And then, we are dealing with two-tailed test. Okay, two-tailed test. So, as a default, 0.05 is the margin of error. This will serve as your column header. Row header, travel tayo until we reach the desired value, which is 2.228. The 2.228 is now your critical value. And take note, class, it should be positive and negative since we are two-tailed. Now, it's time to draw the normal curve. Locate the 2.228, negative and positive, negative and positive, negative and positive. On the leftmost portion and the rightmost portion, that is the territory of your critical region or rejected region. Now, it's time for us to utilize the t-value that we got earlier. The t-value is 0.929. Locate. And obviously, it is outside of rejection region. Therefore, as a decision, we have to fail to reject the null hypothesis. As an interpretation, there is no significant difference, walang pagkakaiba between the sampled pH and the neutral pH substance. Meaning, yung gawa mo, walay. Bakit hindi ka naniwala sa una pa lang na ito ay reliable? Yun yung interpretation natin dito. Okay, the significant, the word significant, it refers to your decision in general. No? Significant meaning in general. You can conclude it not only under your sample but also within the population. So, as a researcher, masakit para sa iyo yan. Kasi there is no significant. Para bang nasayang lang yung gawa mo. Kasi, tama naman pala yung nasa literature. Bakit, ano bang gusto mong mangyari? Bakit parang nag-o-oppose ka pa? Ganun. Tama naman yung current situation. Ganun siya. Now, that's the manual computation, but let us try same data through Jamovi. Kindly ignore the column B and C. No? Just focus on the first column. Double-click the column header. Make sure continuous yung measure type. And then you can rename or you can customize the name of the given column. At this point, nagset ako as pH. And these are the data from the PowerPoint. Okay. Now, mag-run ulit ako. So, go to Analysis tab. Click t-test. Go to one sample t-test. Again, Analysis. Click t-test. And then the drop-down menu will appear. We have independent, paired, and one sample. So, go to one sample. Okay. Now, drag this variable to dependent variable. And then, as a default, student t-test, naka-check yan. Ang checkan nyo pa dyan is the normality test. So, this is the new result, yung color white sa right portion. And then, look at that test value. The test value is the actual mean given from the problem. The given value is 7. So, from 0, set ko to as 7. That's the neutral substance of pH, diba? 7. Click natin 7. Now, we use two-tailed. It should be not equal to, avoid greater than and less than. Okay? And then, normality test, and that's it. Ito naka-default to exclude cases. So, huwag nyo nang pansinin yan. Now, the generated result can be seen on the right portion of your screen in Jamovi. So, look how to interpret this. A statistic is your t-value. This is the t-value. Yun. Nabago na. That is 0.929. Okay? As you remember from the PowerPoint, this is what we obtained from the t-value. That is 0.929. Look at the degrees of freedom. We have 11 participants, so 11 minus 1 is 10. And then, p-value is 0.375, meaning it is greater than from the level of significance, which is 0.05, so we have to reject this one. Reject mo yan. I mean, fail to reject, sorry. Fail to reject. Which is also the decision na ginawa natin kanina. We failed to reject since the t-value is outside from the critical region. So, match yung ating result sa PowerPoint. And then, look at the normality test. P, 0.461 is 0.05. Dapat mas mataas, meaning normal ka. 0.461. Clearly, 0.461 is greater than to 0.05. So, it implies that your data is normal. Karapat-dapat lang na gamitin si t-test. Kasi kung hindi siya normal, kung less than 0.05 yan, hindi t-test ang gagamitin natin. Wilcoxon. Ito ang i-click mo. Greater than naman siya. So, huwag nyo napansinin si Wilcoxon. Okay? Next in line is the paired sample t-test. The paired sample t-test has an alternative name, dependent sample t-test. It examines the within group differences of a single group. So meaning, you have a single group and then you have to test or you have to compare the before and after under that group. Okay? The t-value is now different from the previous one. Hindi ko na babasahin sa isa yan. N is the number of sample. D bar is the sample mean. Mu sub D is the population mean. And SSD or sum of squares, sample difference. Meron kang isang group. Then, ang kinukumpara mo dito ay yung before and after. And then, napapagitnaan siya ng intervention. So, before is the pre-test. And then, after is the post-test. Pre, it measures the current knowledge, the existing knowledge of the respondents towards your concern. And then, after the pre-test, you will disseminate the intervention. No? I-expose mo sila doon. And then, after nun, distribute the post-test. Ang post-test naman, ang minimeasure niyan, kung ano yung naging epekto nila sa intervention. Ngayon, may pagkakaiba ba sa before and after? Pag meron, meaning, yung intervention mo pwedeng mabisa, pwedeng sablay. Halimbawa, nagte-test ka ng, nagbibigay ka ng technique on how to teach chemistry. So, test mo yung before niya, kung ano yung existing knowledge nila in chemistry. Na yun, i-introduce mo kung ano man yung pinapropose mong procedure. Pwedeng game-based, may palaro ka, o kaya may instrument ka na gustong ipakita sa kanila na once na ginamit nila yon, mas may enhance nila yung skills nila sa chemistry. That's the intervention. And after nun, test mo kung ano yung natutunan nila sa procedure mo. Pag tumaas yung score nila, meaning, there's a significant difference. Kasi before, maliit ang score nila, pero ngayon, malaki na. Pag bumaba yung after compared sa before, meaning sinira mo lang yung buhay nila. Parang ang dating, mas okay pa pala yung dati naming alam kaysa yung sa ini-introduce mo. Mas bumaba lang yung scores namin. Pwedeng ganun kasi ang difference. Or another, pwedeng ang sitwasyon, nag-introduce ka ng konsepto na kung saan mas mapapabilis yung pagbawas ng timbang ng isang tao compared dun sa traditional way na nag-exercise ka sa gym. Kapag may difference, pwedeng bumaba compared sa before. So, pag ang goal mo ay about sa weights, dapat bumaba yung after naman compared sa before. Kasi weights yun timbang yun Hindi mo pwedeng pataasin. Pag tumaas yung after compared sa before, meaning hindi effective yung intervention mo, mas lalo silang nadagdagan ng weight. So, ang goal mo, bumaba naman. Depende sa sitwasyon. No? Pwedeng bababa, pwedeng tataas. Pag hindi naman naging equal, no? There is no difference, meaning hindi effective yung gawa mo. Walang nabago Hindi umangat, hindi bumaba. Ganun pa rin. Parang wala lang. So, yun yung kino-compare natin under paired sample. Iisang grupo lang. Parang yung kanina, yung kamukha ni Sanderford, no? Siya yung tao na nag-test ng sabon. Siya pa din yung tao after i-apply yung sabon. This is an example of paired sample t-test. So, earlier, I introduced the pre-test and then the post-test. So, you can see the data. Student 1, 3. Under pre-test, post-test, 5. 7, 8, 5, 5. Uy, walang nabago sa third student, no? And then the fourth, and so on, until we reach this guy, 6 out of 7. May increasing na nagaganap. But only the last student, pre-test is 9, post-test is 7. Okay. Within this result, can we conclude na effective yung inintroduce nating intervention? Pwedeng hindi. Pwede kasi, look at the data, may mga increasing manner naman, but hindi mo masabi kung in general ba Diba? So, if you want to conclude it in general, you have to perform hypothesis testing. And specifically, the paired sample t-test. So, construct the hypothesis. This is the null. Okay? Mu sub b, mu ng before is equal to mu ng after. There is no significant difference. That's why it is equal. H sub 1, there is a significant difference. May pagkakaiba, that's why not equal. But at this point, hindi mo alam kung saan ka papanig. Kung kaliwa o kanan. Sino mas mabigat? Left, right. Walang ganon. Nasa neutral ka. Wala kang pinagpapaboran dito. Pero, kung gusto mo na mayroon kang side na sumasang-ayon ka, let's say sa kanan, sumasang-ayon ka, meaning, post-test must be greater than to pre-test. So, ano ba? Dapat ba mas mataas yung post-test compared sa pre-test? Ito gagamitin ko. The opposite version, mu sub b is greater than to mu sub a. Kung ang gusto mong mangyari, left side yung mas nakakaangat. Now, within this example, which of these three is the applicable alternative? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Paki-type sa comment section.
For me po, kasi mas mataas yung mas marami yung mataas sa post-test compare sa pre-test.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Abuseo?
Same lang din po kami nung nila sana. Pero akin rin po is, I guess ang goal rin po kasi is, yun nga, effective yung intervention. Meaning that mas mataas ang post-test kaysa sa pre-test para masabing effective ang intervention.
Tama. Dapat tumaas yung score nila. Kasi pagka bumaba yan, hindi effective, no? Correct. It should be this one. Yan ang gagamitin natin, ha? Okay, thank you. So, how to compute the manual process? Get the total of pre-test. Get the total of post-test. Once you get the sum, get the average. X sub 1 bar pertains to the sample mean of the pre-test, which is 5.44. X sub 2 bar, 6.78 approximately. That is the sample mean of the post-test. And construct another column. At this time, the column header is D. It refers to difference. So, get the difference. 3 minus 5, negative 2. 7 minus 8, negative 1. 5 minus 5, 0, and so on. And then also get the sum, which is negative 12. Now, once you have the D, pwede mo nang gawin ng D square. The D square is the square of each value under column D. Negative 2 raised to 2, positive 4. Negative 1 raised to 2, positive 1. And so on. Get the sum, 40. Okay? Now, under the t-value formula, as you notice, you have the d-bar. The d-bar is the average of the column D. So, average of the column D. So, get the sum of the column D, which is negative 12, divided by the number of students. We have 9 students. So, we have negative 12 divided by 9. The result is negative 1.33333333, repeating si 3. So, let us have a convenient notation. Instead of repeating, use the bar. Negative 1.3 bar. Meaning ng 3, ulit-ulit. Okay, so you have the D bar. Let's compute now the sum of squares. The sum of squares has a formula, sigma D square minus sigma D raised to 2 divided by n. Sigma D square is already given. This is the 40. Sigma D is the negative 12. And then n is 9. Substitute and simplify. The result is 24. You can verify it on your own, ha? 24 is the result. Now, it's time to compute the t-value. D bar, negative 1.3 bar. Mu sub D. Do we have mu sub D? No. We do not have the mu sub D. Why? From the given, meron ba tayong actual population mean? Kanina, meron. 7. Pero dito, wala tayong binabangga under population. Tama? Wala. So, mu sub D is 0. So, ganyan ang mindset nyo. Under dependent sample t-test, the mu is always 0. Kasi wala ka namang kino-compare or kino-contrast from the given. Okay? Divided by SSD is 24, N is 9. So, This will be the term. Square root of 24 over 9 times 8. Simplify, it is approximately negative 2.31. Okay? Negative 2.31. Ano naman? Tabi mo muna siya. Kasi, ito na yung panahon para i-compute yung critical value. So, under this table, we have 9 as number of participants. So, the degrees of freedom is 9 minus 1. So, focus tayo under row 8. And then, 0.05 is the default. But, one-tailed tayo, ha? Ito ang column na applicable. So, this is the column, this is the row, and the value is 1.860. Yung 1.860 na to, saan siya makikita? Sa left or right ng normal distribution? Sige nga. Saan siya makikita? Left or right? Kung left siya, magiging negative 1.860 na siya. Kung nasa right naman, positive 1.860.
Sa may left po.
Bakit?
Kasi yung dito pre-test po less than post-test. Meaning di ko mapakita pero yung nakabuka po dun sa post-test tas yung direction po pa left. Kagaya po nung sa hypothesis testing. I think.
Correct. Tama yung think mo. The normal curve, yun, nasa left nga. That's the negative 1.860. And then, the region of critical or rejection is nandito din. Ayun na. It's time to use the t-value, negative 2.31. What do you think? Papasok or lalabas sa rejection region? Pasok, no? Okay. Because negative 2.31 is less than negative 1.8. So, dito siya. So, with that, we can now reject the null and conclude that the pretest scores obtained before the intervention is lower compared to the post-test. Lower. So, meaning, effective yung gawa mo. Dahil in general, using your intervention, napapataas niya yung score ng bata. Hindi siya perfecto, ha? You have a 95% chance or you are 95% confident na tama yung ibibigay sa yung resulta. And there is a 5% error. At nasaktuhan itong estudyanteng ito, nag-fall siya sa 5% na yun. Bihira yun. Rare yun. Okay. Kaya isa lang. Yan. Isa man lang. Wala namang perfect sa mundo. Okay. Create a column under pretest and then also construct a column for post-test. So, we have identical data from the PowerPoint. Now, go to analysis, hit t-test, drop-down menu, independent, paired, and one sample, click paired. Drag the post-test and pre-test variables under paired variables box. And now, as default, student t-test, check. Mean difference, you can check this one. And then, 95%, meaning, the complement 5% is the error. Now, wala ka namang test value. Unlike earlier, we have 0. Tapos, kinonvert natin to 7. Dito walang ganon. Kasi nga, wala tayong binabangga na population mean. So, the hypothesis, look ha, not equal, greater than, less than. Click less than because our aim is to have a greater than values under post-test. So, it should be measure 1 less than measure 2. Measure 2 is the post-test. Measure 1 is the pre-test. And then, click normality. Yun. Okay, the t-value that we obtained was negative 2.31. Yes. The degrees of freedom is 8 because 9 minus 1. And then 0.025 as p-value. Obviously, this is less than to 0.05. So, reject the null. Mean difference, this is the negative 1.3 bar. Diba? Kanina. 1.33333. Siya yun. And then the standard error is 0.577. So, meaning, there is a 57% chance or 58% chance na nare-represent natin ng maayos yung conclusion. And then, look at the normality test. The p-value is 79% or 0.79. Greater than 2.05 yan, that means na normal ka. Normal ang data natin. The W, 95.9% ang chance na normal nga talaga yung data mo. Okay, the last type of t-test is the independent sample t-test. As per definition, it is used to compare two sample means from unrelated groups. Unrelated groups, meaning group 1 has no connection under group 2 and vice versa. Kayang mabuhay ni group 1 kahit wala si group 2. Vice versa. Okay. Nagfa-function si group 1 kahit walang tulong ni group 2. Vice versa. Independent. You are comparing these two groups. Okay? Sometimes, you have the control group, you have the experimental group. Usually, group 1 is the control, group 2 is the experimental. Or maybe you can separate the two groups in terms of their homogeneity. For example, group 1, engineering. Group 2, accounting or accountancy. Group 1, barangay 692. Group 2, barangay 854. Group 1, yung mga tumalpak sa Oklahoma. Group 2, tumalpak sa Indiana. Depende, no? Kung ano ang mga trip ninyong group. Iba naman ang t-value dito. X sub 1 bar minus X sub 2 bar divided by X sub 1 bar minus X sub 2 bar. X sub 1 bar is the mean of the first group. X sub 2, mean of the second group. And then the entire denominator has a formula of this. It's very complicated. I will not read it one at a time or term by term. Okay, how to execute independent sample t-test, manual computation. So let's say we have two groups, boys and girls. Okay, it's very important to separate from the perspective of the researcher. It's very important to separate the boys, the results of the boys, and then results from the girls, no? Under counseling, for example. And these are the results. Over 100, let's say, yung total. Kung pagmamasdan mo siya, walang mangyayari. Hindi ka makakapag-decide. Kasi, kung magbe-base ka lang sa mga results na ganito, value na ganito, hindi uubra. Halimbawa, pwede ko ba sabihin girls ay mas mahina compared sa boys in terms of counseling? Kasi nakadalawang 88 ang girls eh. Ang boys, isa lang. Pwede ko ba sabihin mahina na agad yung girls doon? Hindi. Eh, itong ang girls, may 99 sila, pero yung boys, wala. Yun, paano ka makakapag-decide ng maayos? Mag-hypothesis testing ka. Specifically, independent sample t-test. Because we have two groups to compare. Now, these are the hypotheses. Same situations, but this time different notations. Mu sub 1 is the mu under the first group. Mu sub 2 is the mu under the second group. Specifically, mu sub 1 is for boys, mu sub 2 for girls. There is no significant. Walang pagkakaiba sa boy at sa girl results. There is a significant. Mu sub 1 is not equal to mu sub 2. Again, kung tingin mo wala naman sa'yo na hindi naman nagmamatter na mas mataas ang girls compared sa boys or boys sa girls, you have to choose the first alternative. But if you think gusto mong patunayan sa amin na mataas ang counseling scores ng babae sa boys, ito pipiliin mo. Kung mataas naman ang counseling intervention ng boys compared sa girls, ito ang pipiliin mo. So sa case na to, sa akin, wala naman akong kaso kung girls or boys ang namamayagpag. Ito kukunin ko. Walang napag-iiwanan, walang lumalamang, pantay-pantay lang. Halimbawa, pero may difference. Okay? So, first alternative tayo. Get the sum, 828. Get the mean, 828 divided by 9. That's 92. Under girls, get the sum, 846 divided by 9. That's the mean, x sub 2 bar, which is 94. Now, let's compute another column, which is x sub 1 square. X sub 1 is for boys. Square natin, 95 raised to 2, 94 raised to 2, and so on until we reach 90 raised to 2. And these are the product. Get the sum, 76,220. Another column for girls, x sub 2 square. Get the sum, 79,632. Okay, so we have the x sub 1 bar and then x sub 2 bar. It's time to compute the denominator of t value, which is s x sub 1 bar minus x sub 2 bar, and this is the formula. Now, as you can see, we have n1. N sub 1 is the total number of respondents under the first group, and we have 9 students. So, dapat 9 to. Okay? And then S sub 1 square is 4.8 bar based on this computation. This is the formula of S sub 1 square. Okay? It's 4.8 bar. N sub 2, we also have 9 female students. So, N sub 2 is 9. S sub 2 square is 12 based on this formula. So, insert 12. And then, all over, 9 plus 9 minus 2. This entire guy, we will multiply this to another guy, which is 9 plus 9 over 9 times 9. Okay? And, simplify, the result is approximately 1.45. 1.45 is the denominator. And then your numerator is the difference between 92 and 94. So this is 92. This is 94. And then 1.45. Substitute. negative 1.38 is the approximate t value. Ano naman? Punta ka na ng t-table. We have 9 students. Minus 1, 8. Okay, so this is the basis of our row header. And then the column header, we are under two-tailed, 0.05. Ito ang basis natin. Yun. So we found the intersection, 2.306. 2.306 is the critical value. Take note, positive, negative. Tama, positive, negative because we are two-sided. Two-sided. Construct the normal curve. Locate the positive and negative 2.306. And these are the critical regions. Negative 1.38 as t-value. Dito siya. Yun, negative 1.38. And it is clearly outside of the rejection region. So, decision failed to reject the null. Failed to reject the null, there is no significant difference. Walang pagkakaiba. Walang kulelat. Walang lamang. May tama, wala. No significant difference. So, ibig sabihin, yung counseling mo, hindi ganun ka-effective. Maybe, it needs some improvement. We need to customize the questionnaires. Ganun siya. Tandaan nyo negative 1.38 and then we failed to reject. So, let's go to Jamovi. In Jamovi, we have gender column and then scores column. Take note, gender is not continuous, should be nominal. Okay? Nominal. Gender, nominal. Score must be continuous. And then, here are the data. Scores of male students, scores of female students in counseling. Go to analysis, click t-test, click independent samples t-test. Gender, drag this variable under grouping variable. Scores, drag mo into dependent variables box. By default, students, okay, click normality. Pwede naman si mean difference, pwedeng hindi. Mean difference, wala naman tayong kinumpit yan Dun lang yan sa paired sample. And then, look at the hypothesis. We use two-tailed sample, so it should be not equal to. Okay? And here's the result. Normality test, 0.929, 92% kang normal. And then 0.188 is greater than 2.05. So, meaning, normal yung data natin. Kasi kung hindi siya normal, use Welch or Mann-Whitney. Kung hindi normal At dahil normal naman, tama lang na independent samples t-test. And then look at the t-statistic. This is the negative 1.38 that we had. Degrees of freedom is 16. Why 16? Because we have 9 students sa male, 9 students sa female. That is 18. And then bawas isa sa boys, bawas isa sa girls. Because they are independent So, minus 2. So, 18 minus 2 is 16. Tigi-isa sa bawat grupo. And then p-value is 1.188. It is greater than 2.05. Failed to reject the null hypothesis. Match and aligned sa PowerPoint problem natin or computation.